Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro, and I see that I'm expected to actually post stuff. And I was thinking, well, what could I post? And the first thing I did after launching my page was to create a chart, because that's what astrologers do. Anything that you do in your life that is a first, that is a new beginning, actually becomes natalized. A birth chart is created for that moment in time. So I took my time of launch from the email that I just received, and here I am with a 4:23 p.m. birth time, and I reside in Elizabethton, Tennessee. So let's see what my launch looks like. From the astrological perspective, it looks pretty darn good, although there are some challenges. You can see these nice strong blue lines. These are the trines. These red lines here, we have some squares and one opposition. This one particular pattern here is called a T-square, and we can see that the moon is in Gemini in the 7th house of relationships. Gemini is a communicative air sign that rules the 3rd house of communication, formative ideas, writing, teaching. It's also where we view people as brothers and sisters on a social and communal level. So we have Gemini energy today with the moon in Gemini. The moon only spends about 2.5 days in a sign as it travels throughout all the 12 signs of the zodiac over the course of a month. So I happened to pick a time without even really being aware that has to do with social connection with other people that I would see as my family, my siblings, my brothers and sisters. I happen to have a Gemini rising sign in my own chart, so this would be a time where I would be more communicative or reaching out to other people or presenting myself to the world, since I have a Gemini ascendant, and the ascendant is where you go out into the world and make a connection with other people. We have Saturn on the ascendant here in Sagittarius as part of this T-square with the moon in the 7th house of relationship. And then we have Neptune in Pisces as the rest of the T-square. What this says to me basically with Neptune in Pisces in the 3rd house, a lot of idealism behind this idea of other people supporting me. T-squares are always about work, or where does the challenge lie? Where is the friction? Where is the itch that needs continual scratching? Where do I come back again and again to try and make 3 planets that are not cooperating well together work? And this would be in how I present myself to the public and how the public responds, and the idealism behind it, and how well I reach out and communicate. And basically this is not just me, but this is the page, this is the whole platform, and how the people on the receiving end of that platform are going to behave and respond. Where is the challenge in all of this? And the challenge, I think, has to do with the people who are very enthused about this platform, but perhaps don't follow through. Maybe they don't keep their promise and their commitment of a monthly subscription or fee that they are sharing with me to do my work. Now, where's the good stuff? The good stuff is here with Jupiter exactly conjunct the midheaven, the MC that you see up here. Basically, this should provide some sort of support and growth that enables me to do my work. And my work is actually very soul or purpose driven in terms of writing and communicating, because we see the North Node, which has to do with purpose and karmic agreements, and we have very creative Mercury conjunct Venus in Leo in the 9th house. The 9th house rules writing, publishing, teaching, and my primary goals are to connect with people and to get some books written. So Leo rules the 5th house of creativity. Here we have the 5th house of creativity holding Uranus in Aries. This is what I want to do creatively, to bring out to other people, to the public. And mostly it's supported because of this trine here, and that people do love astrology. They do want to support astrology. There may be some fears or some resistance from those who think it's just a whole lot of hogwash, or they don't believe it, or they're not going to support it. There will be naysayers. There are always naysayers about everything, so I'm not that concerned. Let's see what else we have in the positive. Here we have a trine between Jupiter on the midheaven and Pluto in the second house of money and personal finances. Money's going to come. There will be money either from the endeavor overall and the books that I produce and the Periscope daily program that I wish to institute, reaching out to people daily through Periscope, and it will eventually lead toward money, or it will lead toward the support to produce the writing. Another great trine that we have going on here is that the Sun is in the 8th house, forming a trine to both Saturn in the 1st and Mars in the 12th. Something real is going to come out of this, and there will be business support, there will be financial support that makes it all happen. The money also will flow to help inspire or bring the words out through this sextile between Pluto and Capricorn in the 2nd house of money, and Neptune in the 3rd house of the formative or creative ideas, the imagination, the connection with people as brothers and sisters. Anytime Pluto and Jupiter make a favorable aspect to each other, it basically means more. And that's because Pluto intensifies things. Jupiter brings growth and abundance. This is actually called a millionaire or billionaire aspect. I don't know if I'm going to make millions or billions, but I'm certainly going to see growth in terms of finances and in terms of putting myself out there and doing my work. And it will serve a practical purpose, and there will be people who feel that this is worthwhile and that it's helping them in some way. I believe that astrology helps people. The only way that people come to that realization, I feel, is through the skepticism and through trying it out, seeing if it really does do something for them. These green dotted lines that you see here, these are quincunx aspects, and we have the moon in a quincunx to Pluto. So the urging on from people that, hey, I'm helping, now where's the work, let me see what you're doing, will help me to create more. And we have a quincunx between Uranus in the 5th and Jupiter up at the midheaven. This also is going to prod me on to being uniquely creative in my own way, my own point of view, not just regurgitating things that other people may have said, but being true to myself and the way I perceive astrology and the things that I have observed over more than 20 years of looking at many, many charts and many, many people. So let's see how the two charts look together, my chart and the chart of my launch. And here we have a conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto forming a trine to Jupiter. Well, how does it get any better than this? It really doesn't. It shows money, more money. Basically, this enables me to do the work at home as well, because Jupiter is sitting in my 4th house. And then we have Pluto sitting in my 8th house. And I am meant to do metaphysical work because I have Sun, Saturn, Jupiter in my 8th house. I'm meant to take it as a serious business. And the support here from Pluto in the 2nd house of the launch page chart to my 8th house shows that it's going to flow money toward me to doing that work. We also have transiting Mercury and Venus joining my natal Uranus in my 3rd house, and I think differently. I'm meant to bring some unusual thoughts or unusual points of view out to the public, the internet, humanity as a whole. The 11th house rules friends, groups, organizations. I have my moon in Aries in the 11th house. The 11th house also rules the internet. And here we have transiting Uranus joining my natal moon. I'm meant to become popular or known at this point in time. I've already had a certain amount of this occurring through people finding me online and people mentioning me on certain forums or places where I've gained popularity. So this is perfect timing right now, and there's a mutual transit going on with Mercury. Here we have a Mercury trine to the moon, and I saw, where did it go? Mercury trine to moon again. So we have a double Mercury moon thing going on. Both of them trines, very supportive of communication, very supportive of emotions and expressing of the emotions. So it looks good. Of course, there are some conflictual aspects as well, such as moon, sun opposing sun. However, I find that every year for me at this time of year, there will be something that occurs that brings me outside of myself or asks me to take myself out to the public and bring that energy forward. This is what the Leo energy always does to my Aquarius energy at this time of the year. So perfect timing for me to be reaching out and putting plans in motion to ask for help in supporting me so that I can spend more time writing and get these books done. I really feel that it is important to do. I let it pass last year at the same time of the year when I wanted to do it, when I wanted to create an annual guide for the different sun signs so that everybody can run off to Amazon, put it on their Kindles, and be reading what their year ahead will be like for them. So thank you for your support in allowing me to do this. And now let's turn this recording off.